Hey, how's it going? Preps here, and welcome back to another Marvel Strike Force video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the best characters to take into Dark Dimension 6. With the changes to progression earlier this year, players are reaching Dark Dimension 4, 5, and even 6 within the first few months of playing. So it's a good idea to start preparing as early as possible, and choosing the right characters is essential. So if you're a newer or mid-game player looking to start Dark Dimension 4, 5 or 6 and you're wondering what are the best characters to take, then this video is for you. With all that said, let's get into it. Alright, starting off with the global section, and here I'm going to suggest you use the Extreme X-Men. They're the current mutant raid team and one of the best all-round teams in the game. Taking the Extreme X-Men into Dark Dimension makes sense, as if you plan to participate in the highest levels of raids, you'll be needing to invest in them heavily anyway. However, if you happen to unlock Black Knight, he should replace Cyclops on your global team. The only other two characters I would recommend would be Wolverine and Sunfire, as they're also raid characters that are going to need to be invested into eventually if you want to participate in the Spotlight raids. But taking the Extreme X-Men with Black Knight is definitely the better option. I guess this would be a good time to mention that while there are other really good options for global characters in Dark Dimension, if you're a new or mid-game player, building your raid team should be your #1 priority, and with how fast progression is these days, taking as many raid characters as you can into Dark Dimension 6 is a pretty good idea. Okay, moving along to the Cosmic section, and this is probably the worst section. While Cosmic has some great characters, it can be pretty hard to farm shards for them. Characters like Kang, Deathpool, and Val are some of the best characters for the Cosmic section, but you can't even start farming their shards until well into the game. But if you do happen to obtain some shards for them either from orbs or events, then those three are solid options for the Cosmic section. Kestrel is an amazing character, and as she's a reward for completing Dark Dimension 1, it's very easy to get her to 7 stars. She's also part of the Tech Raid team, so worth building anyway. Once you complete Dark Dimension 5 and unlock Dormammu, I recommend taking him into Dark Dimension 6. If you do decide to take any characters that happen to have low stars, Dormammu can help compensate for that with his revive mechanic. In fact, he's so good, I would say he's almost a necessity. The last two options I would consider would be Icarus and Cersei. Both of them are easily farmable and are amazing in Dark Dimension. Alright, let's talk about the city section, and here my #1 suggestion would be to take the whole Spider Society team, but sometimes that's just not realistic. Fortunately, we have a great selection. I sound like a f***ing commercial. Luckily, we have a really good selection of characters to choose from. Red Goblin, Gwenom, Vulture, Kraven, Lizard, and Robbie Reyes are all decent options. Now, a lot of people would say Robbie Reyes is a must build for Dark Dimension, but here's the thing. For new and mid-game players, the #1 priority is to build raid teams, and while Robbie is an amazing character, his shards are only available in the Crucible store, and in my opinion, Nightcrawler, Red Goblin, and Iron Man Infinity War take priority over Robbie Reyes. Getting all of them to 7 stars is far more important. Finally, the Legendary section, and this is an interesting section as there are only so many legendaries in the game, some better than others. The 3 no-brainers would be Old Man Logan, Black Cat, and Green Goblin Classic. For the last 2 characters, there are a few options. Nova, Doc Ock, Omega Red, Rogue, Morgan Le Fay, and Phoenix would be my top picks. Keep in mind that if you're a newer player, getting more than 3 stars for Black Cat, Nova, and Green Goblin Classic is going to require a fair bit of investment. Also, if you're low on bio gear, replacing Nova with Phoenix is a decent idea, as you'll want to make sure you have enough bio gear to take Super Skrull into the Cosmic section for your second run. Now, as for the Legendary / Apocalypse section, I would suggest just taking the same team you use for the non-Horseman Legendary section. Acquiring Apocalypse as a new or mid-game player takes far too much investment, By the time you hit level 95 and Dark Dimension 6 opens up, you'll probably still be working on your raid teams. So I suggest to hold off on building the horsemen and just concentrate on building your raid teams and using as many of them in Dark Dimension as possible. Well, that just about does it, and like I said, there are plenty of other characters that are really good in Dark Dimension. And if you're a veteran player, you might have a lot more options available. But if you're a newer player to the game, you're gonna level up so fast that I think taking as many raid characters as possible is the best use of resources. Well, if you found the information in the video useful, give it a thumbs up, share with your alliance, and don't forget to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.